Evening, everybody. Peace and blessings. How are you? Hello. Thank you, Amanda and Randy, and congratulations to David. And I enjoyed Michael and the trio. He was on the board when my mom was on the board many years ago, so we go way back. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I always have to brace myself when I come to these because I know I'm going to go home with some nice gifts for some folks here as I pick up some ticks. And so I'm waiting to see what that's going to be like. Who here does not have Tourette? I just always want to see. Who does? All right, so you don't really get it. Fun with Tourette's. I had a personal triumph today. Usually sometimes I forget certain ticks until I fill up some hot water and try to take it with me. But I had a personal triumph. I was able to get the tick out and not spill any hot water. So today that was a personal triumph for me. I talk about my sister. Before we got diagnosed, she would scratch one hand and leave the other one out. That was real painful. If you don't have Tourette's, you may not understand what that is. If you don't have Tourette's, you might hit your hand on a hot radiator and just walk away. But if you have Tourette's and OCD, it doesn't always go that way because your left hand's like, you just hit that guy, So you try to hit it real quick and walk away, and this guy you hit him kind of hard, So that's fun with Tourette's. Thank you to everyone here today, to all of the medical professionals and everyone here who's sharing their experiences and helping to show people how to live with Tourette syndrome. I didn't find out, however, about Tourette syndrome from a doctor. I found out from a 2020 show. My mother was actually watching and she said, I think you have that. And I said, no, I don't. And she was correct. When I was a kid in school going with Tourette's and ADHD and not knowing about the time, my teachers often thought I was acting out. I was kind of a combination of being a rambunctious young kid. Tourette's and ADHD was a pretty tough combination. So I got in trouble a lot. I actually still get in trouble a lot. It's good trouble now. Fortunately, I had folks like my mom and my fifth grade teacher. I always shout her out, Miss Jeannie Ned, who helped me get through it and who understand there was someone there beside the tricks, and I really appreciate that. Putting a name to it was important, and it changed how we dealt with it. A lot of people are living with conditions and problems that they don't understand. I know Michael said he got diagnosed when he was 40. I got diagnosed in about the 9th grade, and I feel for them. Most of the time, those issues are unseen. Tourette's is, as you know, oftentimes very visible or audible. Very often, it's the first thing you might see or hear about someone. But I found that it doesn't have to define you or dominate you. There's one thing about Tourette's that does define me, though. I am always moving. I would end up back on Maury the Maury Povich show and actually work on the show. I was on that show twice. And I wanted to work in production and to make films. I was even a guest, as I mentioned on the show. I talked about my experiences. I can't find those clips, so if anyone knows those Maury Povich clips, I'd like to have them. My first love was acting. I wanted to be an actor. I actually still am. People don't believe me. But whenever I'm on stage acting, the tics go away. It's a very zen place. I know a lot of performers feel the same. And as I mentioned, when I'm performing, my tics go away. I don't know why. There might be a doctor in the house that explained to me. I kept moving, as I mentioned. I kept moving through acting, through community organizing, and I ended up in politics. I think it's meaningful that with Tourette's, I was able to find success in a field that often relies heavily on image and appearance. I was told that I was the first known elected official in America with Tourette's when I was elected. I'm happy to say that's not the case anymore. People believe that Tourette's and other conditions limit what someone can do. In my experience, it just changes how you do it. Not by hiding from Tourette's, but by working with it, by embracing it. In addition to always moving, I'm always speaking up and speaking out. I think over time, people have been able to look past the tics to hear what I'm saying. I think some of my success in politics gets attributed to me, but it's probably just some of my OCD that won't let me get away from things until I get it done. That is not to say that I don't face challenges, that I don't face people who don't understand this condition, or who do, and and choose to mock my movements. You can just ask many of the viewers on Tucker Carlson and Fox right after I finish and check out my Twitter. There might be some Trump supporters, and I appreciate you coming out anyway, even though I'm giving the keynote. I also know that not everyone's experience is like mine, that these conditions vary from person to person. And that's why it's important to me. I think that I'm out here, and I see the reaction of people when they see me in person or on TV. On election night, when I ran for lieutenant governor, there was one particular moment that stands out for me. There was a young man, right after I gave my concession speech, and he said that, just like me, he had Tourette syndrome, that he had wanted to get into government to make change, but that he didn't know he could. And then when he saw me, he was inspired. I can't tell you what that meant to me to see that young man. And many folks thought that based on where I was and the district I was in, that it was a young black man. It was actually a young Caucasian man, which meant even more to me. And it just goes to show that we are, as corny as it sounds, all one. And when I saw him, I was also inspired, because everyone has a moment when they feel that their obstacles are too great, that people don't see them, or that they aren't heard, and they need a voice. They need someone who will speak out, and I'm committed to being one of those people. And I think very often in many communities, especially communities that are marginalized, and communities like mine, very often don't seek help, and the resources aren't in those communities for conditions like this, and that needs to change. I've been open about myself seeking out and getting a therapy for the past 3.5 years, and I wanted to say that particularly because in my community people don't ask for assistance that they need, and oftentimes they aren't there. And I think if I had gotten that assistance a few years back, I might have been married with children. My mother would be very happy. But I am to say, 2.5 years later, I'm recently engaged and moving forward. So it's been an awesome journey. And I also realized in my therapy that I never took the time out to think about what it meant to be diagnosed with Tourette syndrome at such an early age. That we kind of just sped through it and making sure that I can become the best person I can. So I encourage everyone now, after the diagnosis, take some time to figure out what it means to you. What do you think it means to you? How it makes you feel. Don't ignore those feelings, don't push it down, bring it up to the surface so you can deal with it. I know that not everyone has a mother like myself who will speak up for them. Shout out to Patricia Williams, who's a former board member of the We need to put more resources into all communities to ensure that people in communities, in all communities, have access to care. That's true for Tourette syndrome, it's true for mental health care. We also need to take away the stigma from both of those things in the general public. By the way, we have to separate out mental health and mental illness, because if you need a mental health check-in, it doesn't mean you have a mental illness. And they are two different things that need to be dealt with properly. I have come a long way. Just 10 years ago when I got elected, I was just some crazy dude who ticked and was screaming about the abuse of the stop, question, and frisk. 10 years ago, Mayor Bloomberg was apologizing for it, and I'm the public advocate of the city of New York. So that's amazing. I even brought my button. I took it out of hiding for a day or two and took it out. I really believe that we are making a lot of progress on this, but in order to keep moving and keep speaking out, we have to just do that. What I always do, and what about half of the room does on a regular basis, just keep moving.